from Aso Rock, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and this article is written by Princey. It says, if you are looking for where to read newspapers in Aso Rock, visit the Vice President's office, noted a social media user. The pendulum is already swinging, and the scale of the cabal is dangling towards a certain direction. The battle for the soul of 2023 is gradually being drawn. The coast is becoming clearer. The battle is all about who gets the top job in 2023. Needless say, it's going to be a fight to finish. It's going to be a war between the pigs and the cabal. Should I increase the volume for the Honorable Minister for Power to hear me? Who will get dirtier and happier this time around, the pigs or the cabal? It is indeed a battle between the monstrous, ferocious and powerful northern cabal and the Jagabans boys. Sorry, I meant to say the Yoruba of the southwest. Intriguing days are ahead. Time and events will keep on unfolding how this power tussle will twist, hit and break necks. Now look at it this way. They started the ruthless experimentation with the Sahara Reporters publisher Mr. Showore. When the northern oligarchs decided to hound him, they definitely had something in mind. They wanted to know how the Southwest would react. As if the well-orchestrated plans were laid like landmines, the Yoruba political gladiators are already playing into the traps. They all kept mute as Showore's gut-wrenching invasion and arrest. Some of them even encouraged the president and his powerful cabal to keep Showore as long as he wishes, inasmuch as 2023 would not be compromised with other ethnic groups. You will recall that pressures were all around the Asiwaju of Yoruba land and self-styled Awolowo of our time, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to run for 2023 presidency. Anyway, that's what he told us. Showore has always been seen as a threat to the political interests of Jagaban. No, he was a big threat to the collective interests to the southwest. As such, he has to be eliminated from the picture. Having seen that the chess was really playing out as planned, it's now time to touch one of the untouchables. The most powerful political office holder from the southwest was stripped of his powers and rendered almost redundant. This was a clear message to the Jagaban that it was no longer business as usual. Nobody dares the cabal and tells the story with joy. First, Mr. President, I meant the unseen hands in the presidency disbanded the Osinbajo-led economic management team, even without giving him prior notice. It took the VP by surprise. I suppose he would still be nursing the wound and trying to recover from the rude shock by now. But the cabal would not stop there. They needed to leave the Jagaban with a bloody nose by hitting very hard at his men. He has to be cut to size by all means for nursing his inordinate ambition. Without mincing words, he has to be taught some lessons and be told to his bare face that he's still a political neophyte in the murky waters of Nigeria politics. Nigeria is neither Lagos State nor Southwest, where the Jagaban could loom large without restraint. Nigeria, as things are now, belongs to the cabal and by extension the powerful northern oligarchs. Come to think of it, to be frank, many had seen the Osinbajo-led EMT as an epoch-making disaster. As some economists and financial analysts would argue, the vice president headed the most inept, rudderless, and historically failed economic team in the history of Nigeria, a sort of Buhari symbiotic political economy. Certainly, the economic team would be remembered for its notoriety for plunging the economy into a state of comatose. Sadly, under his economic watch, millions of Nigerians fell into Atlantic Ocean of abject poverty. Nigeria quickly leapt to become the poverty capital of the world, although many still argue that the baton of responsibility rests between him and the cabals as well. The president signs anything that comes to his desk through the cabal without making any attempts to go through those documents. After all, He once admitted he doesn't read through documents before signing and presenting them to the public. Wow. Second, right from the inception of the Buhari administration, the vice president has been chairing the governing boards of the National Emergency Management Agency, Border Communities Development Agency, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, and the National Boundary Commission. He likewise chairs the board of directors of Niger Delta Power Holding Company, a limited liability company jointly owned by the three tiers of government, as well as chairman of National Council on Privatization. These are powerful portfolios being superintended by him. This game this gave him some sense of superiority over the demigod cabal. But how far Osinbajo would go with those titles is a matter to be determined not by the constitution or any other extant law by the godless cabal, all feeding fat both at Aso Rock and outside the presence of power. They could even call the cannon shot from Daura Palace or Kaduna government house or anywhere in the north. Aligning with their interests could have saved the vice president all this embarrassment. Perhaps it has even come as a speculation that he's also nursing the ambition of giving the top job a shot should his boss fail to clinch the ticket. Now, all those powers that had given him a false sense of confidence and smartness have been stripped off with just a tip of the finger by the cabal. Is the game not over? What this means is that the vice president would just be there, isolated and abandoned. What gave him relevance has been taken away. Third, before he could take any decision, action now, approval must first be sought and obtained by him from the almighty cabal. It will get to their table first. They will have to query it, ask both reasonable and unreasonable questions. Approval would be timelessly delayed. Frustration would creep in. The office would become moribund and redundant. It would be starved of funds. Apologies to the Kyrgyz state governor and his estranged deputy. Fourth, that notorious trader money and what have you would also have to go. No more traveling allowances. The vice president will just come to office, press and charge his phones, tweet, Facebook, WhatsApp, and perhaps listen to news and retire back home. This may soon be his routine for the next 4 years. The powerful cabal is at work. A time is coming when Nigerians will be asking themselves whether the office of the vice president still exists. That's what the cabal can do. Challenge them and your story will be told with deterrence and as a warning to others. Fifth, major national dailies are recently reporting how the vice president is were packing out of Aso Rock in droves. The terrain was becoming unbecoming for them. The manifestation of the power of the cabal unbearable Aso Rock. Now, what becomes of Tinubu and his ambition if the cabal decides to go after all his men on key political positions at the federal level? They are digging the trenches against 2023 for the Jagaban and his men. Will he survive the onslaught? Time will tell. For now, the coup from the cabal is already giving some ambitious gladiators sleepless nights. Is impeachment possible? Pretty much, but that will be too lousy and unnecessarily pronounced. With the subtle but dangerous steps being taken by the cabal, I see darkness hovering around Jagaban's ambition. The sinister is already gathering to perch on the Zuma Rock. Will the Southwest speak up now, or would they also sacrifice Osinbajo with the hope that 2023 is still much feasible for them? The question I am compelled to ask is, how will the Southwest appease the Asu Rock cabal without sacrificing their 2023 inordinate ambition? So guys, just like I said, this article is written by Prince C. And more so, I don't know if really, let us even leave all of those things. So the blame game, we talk about the masses, or the masses are more important, instead of all these people, because no matter what, they can never go poor. What they are fighting for is power. It's just power show, power tussle. That is all they are concerned about. But Nigerians that are on the street, they are thinking about what they are going to eat, what they are going to put on table, how they are going to feed their children, how they are going to spend or train their children or send their children to school, security and all of that. Those are the concerns of the Nigerian people on the streets. So if we really want to go back and just look at what is even happening to these people, in my opinion, because I don't even care about them, but I just want to digress and see from from their own side, what can we now say that, like, okay, the Southwest and the Jagaban and his men have done to these people to have deserved what they are giving back to them. These are the same people, the Southwest people, that supported these people in their first and second term. Then what is their offense now? What is the offense of Jagaban and the Southwest people that the Cabal or the Buhari, all of them, will be treating them in this manner? Of course, if you check at it, I see no one, but I see none, because yet they really helped them to come into power. Like we heard, Buhari always gets billions of, I'm just trying to, that is to tell you how they really placed him on that highest pedestal. They always say, oh, he get billions of votes, and yet three times he couldn't win until when these people came on board before he could come to power. So what is now their offense that they will be treating them in this manner? Well, the Igbos have said, they've been talking about it, that these people, they will teach you lesson. It was as if the Igbos they were talking rubbish, they were talking nonsense, but all the rubbish and nonsense the Igbos were talking, they were saying that time, they are manifesting, and it is very, very clear. They say who laugh last, laugh best. So is it not the Igbo people that are laughing now? Igbos don't know how to play politics, but see, no, we just have to call a spade a spade. Igbos, they don't know how to play politics, but see the people who know how to play politics, see what they are being treated. Igbos have been saying that the alliance with these people, it's going to backfire. Is it not backfire? See the way they are being treated. Very shameful. See the issue of Amotekun. They can't even say anything. Jagaban cannot say anything. Even Osinbajo, even Oshowore's time, they could not even say anything. Can you imagine? So, if really they have the interest of the Yoruba people, or they have the interest of their people at heart, all these things that they've been facing, that has been happening to the Southwest people, they will come out and say it. Just imagine what concerning this Amotekun, even during the Showore's time, Issa Isage could not even say much. He was just playing to the gallery. But as soon as this issue of Amotekun came, he came up straight and just said, no, 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 no. It's not going to happen. That this thing is not right from the side of the AGF, Malami, saying it is illegal. He came out and said this because it's still part of them. So why would Oshibajo and Tinubu are afraid to talk? They can't even say anything now. As tense as this whole thing, most especially this Amotekun, as tense as it is, they can't say anything. And what are you talking about? So, well, the Southeast people will like, we have told you people, we warned you, but you wouldn't listen. But see what is happening now. See what is happening now. So that is just my own opinion concerning this article written by Princey. Let's hear a few things that Nigerians are talking about here. And someone says, blah, 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 blah. No matter what, Northerners, no matter what they do, their game plan is to end and come, and it would end come 2023. By then, it's either power come to the south, west, or southeast. Someone says, God Almighty has taken note of the contributions of the Southwest to the success of Buhari in their party primaries, the campaigns, and even in the government. But I am not surprised if Buhari and his cabal rubbish all that, because they will be behaving to type as some have alleged. But my mind tells me the North are just deceiving themselves, as God is behind the Yorubas, giving their honest sacrifice that has sustained the nation at critical period. And someone say, now same Ashiwaju is against Amotekun. And someone says, who installed Tinubu as Ashiwaju of Yoruba land, please? And someone say, the Yoruba people, of course. Someone say, go and ask. Okay, I love your question. You have people of intelligence in the whole Western state that can represent you in all sincerity, and you chose a tout and area boy to represent the almighty Yoruba race. It's a big shame, if I must say. So guys, a lot of people have said their mind, concerning this, but with the whole thing, with all of the things happening now, where do they Where do they belong to? They know how to play politics, they know how to play politics, but see where the politics they know how to play has landed them. You can imagine one of the videos that we just did, and we heard how this Mieti Allah described the whole Yorubas. See the way they describe them. They are primitive and intolerant of other people or socio-political things. Yoruba people, you say they are intolerant. You know, it's really laughable from that statement. The man was just speaking and he was angry, and he described them as, you know, primitive people, calling that with the level of their education that really they are still primitive. You can imagine the way they are just throwing insults at them. So guys, let's hear your take concerning all of these things. People will say, we've told them, they warned them, but they wouldn't listen. They just formed alliance with them. But see what they are paying them back with. It's very, very shameful and so pathetic. So guys, leave your comments. Let's hear your take. Bye.